like every other time. Great news is it's working.
Nice.
Hey, y'all. Today, our topic is what is in our boats, what we are loading in our boats, tackle-wise, rod-wise. Maybe not rod-wise. Yeah. Well, we already did the whole rod breakdown thing. But basically, tackle-wise, what our strategies are and what we're going. And mainly, we are talking Clearwater Lakes. So, for instance, our tournament this weekend coming up is Comanche. It's kind of the same stuff you can carry for Berryessa.
Yeah.
Kind of the same stuff you can carry for Pedro, Malones.
Yes.
You know, we're kind of just talking Clearwater Lakes this time of the year, what we're loading in the boat. While we're waiting for people to get logged on, John, you went to one of those Clearwater Lakes within the last couple days.
Yes, I did.
Oh, how'd that go?
I had a rough time.
And lo and behold, what lake were you at?
I was at Lake Comanche.
Love that place.
Yeah, that place. That lake is just very. It's my toughest lake by far. I learned what makes it hard when you have a day like I had and my partner Mike is we didn't really learn anything to try to add to for this weekend, or you know what I mean? I thought I had something figured out right off the get because I caught my one and only fish in the first 20 minutes, and then I never got another bite running that pattern. So it was not a pattern.
So you got a really hot 5-minute bite.
Yeah, I had a hot bite, and then the rest of the day it was very tough. So that's it. It was tough.
So me and James haven't pre-fished it at all.
We have not been to that lake.
We're not there. So mainly we're talking about what we're thinking about, right?
So we have a complete open book. We have the normal seasonal patterns that we run off of, but we had an open book, and I think that would be a good opportunity to take advantage of basically what we're loading in the box when we don't have a clue. And what's happening, Camo Joe? Yeah, that's basically kind of the ballpark.
So how are we going to do
the
this?
premise of it.
So how are we doing it?
So what I'm thinking is I literally have my box sitting right over here. And we're going to pull a box and pick out some baits that we think are pretty.
Basically.
And kind of talk about them and see what we got.
John, do you know what the water temp was?
I don't. I'm sorry.
His water temp is, Graph doesn't tell him.
Ever since I swapped graphs.
Did you dump your finger in the water?
Yeah, and it was 63, I think.
Good call.
How many toes can you put in?
Yeah, no, I don't even have a. Like I said, I'm the most generic boat in the club. I have nothing, and when I switched graphs, my temp gauge was on the transducer, the old one. It was just part of that, and so I lost that, and so I don't have any temp. I don't have any way to even do temp, but I just go fishing. Either I catch a few or I don't.
I do want to mention I got some new toys.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
And some new toys is some crappie closets pulling some worms now. That's Marlon Carpenter, but this bad boy right here, I mean, realistically,
They look good.
they're all good colors.
Yep, they are
I
really.
may not be
100%.
able to see half of these colors, but they're all good colors. Which ones? Am I missing any?
Nope, that's 4. Yeah, this one right here.
Oh, look at that.
I think that one too. Yeah, that one
Yep.
too.
So, let's give you guys a clue. These are your different colors that I picked up. I will be cycling through these at Comanche, especially
The Morning Dawn one.
the Morning Dawn
Yeah, that looks really good.
and the purple one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be cycling through these.
I really.
They got some good stiffness to them, and they still got some wiggle waggle with that stiffness.
I will tell you.
I've not thrown them in the water yet, but
You just got them yesterday, right?
Yeah.
just got them yesterday. Just got them last night, 24 hours ago.
I would probably
Hot off the
throw
press.
those two too, right?
Yeah.
It's a watermelon with multiple flakes, purple gold and green in there, and this watermelon with the black and
This is a color, the watermelon
Gold
with what is it, green, purple. This is something I threw
Yeah,
similar
green,
a
purple,
long
yeah.
time ago. This was a worm that was in play, and it was a very good worm. And I was tripping when he broke this color out last night. I'm like, oh man, that's a good one.
And I'm also excited. We got swim bait here, little paddle tail, 3 inch, 3.5,
Yeah,
4
3
inch
inch.
something. Oh,
Is that-
longer than your finger. I really like this color actually, especially for the old Comanche.
Yeah,
And some various
little bait fish color.
Yeah, bait fishy. It's got that gold in there. It's got some other random flake in there. Too.
yeah, it's a good bait. I
Other
definitely
other
good
random
color.
colors I can't see.
I think he said he was, I don't know if it was that bait, but he was just getting some good fish of a Clear Lake on one of his little swim baits just
Yeah.
recent.
And it's
I-
3.5
Yep.
on that
Yeah.
little thing. And
This-
it's got a good wiggle waggle to it.
Yeah, I think these are going to hold up because they're stiffer, which is good. You should hold up, and
Yeah.
they look really good.
And then also I got some Cincos I'm gonna play around from them that I got in the past
Yeah,
that I haven't got a chance to play.
We showed 'em.
yet. Yeah, we showed them in the past.
Yeah.
I don't have them on there, but it's also a kind of morning dawnish pink style.
yeah.
So yeah, got new toys. Those will definitely be all in cycle this weekend.
Yep.
Hit us with the first box.
All right,
What do
so
we got?
I'm gonna-
it's
I'm
three-
gonna-
I said 3.5, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna start with the heat right on the front.
Right off the front. Why not start with the heat?
We're
See,
not
right.
even gonna go slow. Not even gonna ease into it. Just
no, you just go straight at it, right?
Holy
Like,
moly.
and I apologize. I might have been drinking today.
You might have had a couple of baits. You might be a couple baits deep.
Yes, I might be a couple baits deep. You should go ahead.
I might wanna, guys. If I can get live video to work at Comanche, there might be some lives Friday night or Saturday night. Stay tuned. If you see it come up, I don't know if I have good enough phone service there though. to
Yeah,
try and do
I
it.
don't know.
We're gonna try it at least. And it's
What's it gonna be called?
It's gonna be called Two Baits Deep. And if you
I'm-
don't know, baits are adult beverages.
I'm
and
two
you gotta
baits.
have
I'm two baits deep currently, and they're like 8.5.
So you're five baits deep then?
Yeah, he's
Basically.
5 baits with a,
I'm basically currently right now. I got picked up to go here. I'm still in work clothes.
I think the thing I'm gonna talk about. Actually, no, this is the one I'm gonna talk about
Oh, I love that
because
one.
it's a cute little one. I
like the color.
I'm actually missing a bait. I
Oh.
don't have the Chopo version of this.
Yeah,
This right here is Monkey Butt.
it is a monkey butt.
Ah, beautiful color name, and it's the 75
Yeah.
Whopper Plopper. I prefer, especially like spotted bass lakes and stuff like that. It still has that big plop to it, but it's a compact bait that a decent spot or even a small spot can get choked into there, and a largemouth is not afraid to take a shot at it.
Nope, not at all.
Alicia, again, I'm a couple baits deep, so I probably will spill some stuff. So write it down.
Oh, she got her notepad out,
Yeah.
cracked her, sharpened her pens up, get them
So-
all nice and sharp.
So I'm going to tell you that for me, busting out some top water, I would rather throw something that's going to be moving, right? Like, because I could cover water way faster, especially on Friday. I'm going to pre-fish on Friday.
Especially fall time is about covering water.
Yep.
Because if that water flips or whatever it is, those
Yeah.
fish are out there. Like they're not on one specific, they're spread out.
So for me, I'm going to throw the bigger Whopper Plopper. This is a 130. That's monkey butt too, right?
Looks like
Yes,
Yeah, that's
I
monkey butt.
basically, I don't know if you noticed, but I only have a couple of colors. When it comes to things, I just buy 2 colors.
it almost looks like the ghost minnow.
I'm gonna throw something like this.
Similar.
If there's no wind, if there's wind, I'm gonna throw the Chopo in this size.
And I do have the smaller Chopo, but not the bigger one. I don't actually throw the small one. But I'll throw white in that.
Yeah.
Is there anything in there that speaks to you?
Yeah.
Since
So
he doesn't even know what's in the box.
no, let me look in here. Basically, I see one that I have. This one right there.
Spook Junior.
Spook Junior. That bait right there, and this time of year, anytime summer through the fall, is a bait that's
See what
definitely could get bit.
foot.
And keep it handy throughout the day because
Yeah.
you never know when fish are going to start busting. And it's just a good, whatever topwater lure you're throwing, but just have it handy because you just never know when they're going to come up and start busting, chasing bait. And instead of having to dig in the rod locker, I would suggest you have it out and ready to go.
Yeah,
So-
if they are busted on the top though, I would rather throw like a walking bait or a pop R type bait.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the reason why I like Spook Junior and Spook in general is because of that long cast, that
Yeah.
long beam. And then this is an honorable mention. This is the Depop 70. Yeah, I do not remember who makes it. I'm gonna say Demiki, but I really don't know. Depop 70, you can actually throw this on a bait caster. It has enough weight to it, and you can long bomb this bait as a popper.
That's the other one, Sammy.
Sammy or
I think it's Sammy.
I cannot make a Sammy work to save my life.
Yeah,
I
I've had
do
pretty
not
good luck on
understand.
the Lucky Craft Sammy. After 2 days ago, I may go with the pencil.
So this is an actual pencil that I have. I have a goal to catch a fish on this, and every time I never actually catch one on it, but I forgot who makes it. Oh, it's a Lucky Craft. It's actually a pencil. It says pencil number 2 on it.
That's funny.
If you can read that.
It'll work.
Yeah, I'm sure it works, but one day I'm going to catch one on a pencil
That's
popper.
funny.
Hey, do you change your hooks on your
On spooks,
spooks?
yes. I do not change them on the ploppers or choppos because they are
Decent.
they are definitely effective as they are. Poppers, I'm scared to change poppers. That's one of the things I like to throw about that Depop is that it has a heavier gauge hook to it. But on a spook, I will always change the hooks because the original hooks are
Yeah, they're not very good.
garbage.
Yeah, they're not good. Yep.
Garbage.
I agree. That's sometimes on the poppers, I'll change the belly hook. Maybe go a smidge bigger. But I keep the back hooks. Usually they got the feather. I know they're small, but they seem to hook up just fine. But that belly hook, I'll go a little bit bigger. And I like the round bend too.
And you do want to, on a popper, some of that pop itself is from the body angle to the water. So basically, if you change it too much to where it drops down in the butt, where you change those rear hooks, it won't pop. Or it doesn't have that bloop sound.
Right.
It'll change
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I usually leave the backs alone, and just change the belly. And that ain't even every time. It depends which bait.
What else you got? What
You got
any
some
comments?
You got some comments.
Slide that over to that chair.
I will.
I'm gonna slide that chair closer too. What do we got here? Loose lips sink ships. Put them on potato peeling duty. Don't let them talk. Hey, this boy right here, you can't stop him from talking.
No.
Yeah, the pencil popper did already catch me. As soon as I saw it come out, I was like, I gotta get that.
So the next box we're pulling out here is square bills.
Square bills, and there's a couple different styles here.
Yeah.
If you are fishing lake with grass predominantly, this is the oh my gosh, I just blanked on the name. Oh, Strike King something or another. I'm blanking on it. Help me out in the comments. I cannot remember the name. It's the one with the funky lip for grass. But my
New favorite.
new favorite is actually, you know what? I'm gonna get a good color out too. Is actually the Fritzside 5 in square bill. That is my newest little favorite, especially this time of the year.
Let me check that one out.
So that bait, you can reel as hard as you want with a 7-1 and it does not blow out.
That's a good looking bait.
Unless you tie a direct knot and you have it like kicked sideways, then it'll blow out. But as long as you have a solid pole, which I use snaps, you can burn this thing, and you'd be really surprised how hard a fish will smoke it if you are cranking this thing with a 7-to-1 as fast as you want. They will smoke it and rip the rod out of your hand. It's just basically like a little shad thing. They make a bigger version of it.
For side 7 though, right?
No, it's Frittside 5 Biggin is what they call it.
Ah.
Oh,
I
that's
actually
interesting.
am not a fan of the Biggin. When you throw it, it's hard to cast it. Like the wind grabs it.
Hey, Corey helped us out. Hybrid Hunter.
Hybrid Hunter, thank you.
They
Thank
feel-
you, Corey. I
they
appreciate
feel-
it.
They feel light.
They do feel really light, but they cast like a missile.
Okay.
The regular ones, that is. The Biggin does, like, it'll grab, because there's a lot of flat surface to it, it'll grab the wind and just off the one side.
Yeah.
What you got?
I am going to be pulling out this.
I can't wait till he sticks himself.
Oh, because I've been drinking? Where's your deep diving
Right
one?
here.
Oh, it's over there, guy. All right, so this is a Jabberjaw.
They're currently on sale everywhere.
On sale everywhere. I don't know if they're going out of business or whatnot, but this one, the bill actually moves on it. It has a whole complete different sound. You could actually adjust it to dive deeper. And I'm telling you, this bait straight catches fish, right? Like,
Yeah.
not a lot of people think it's gimmicky. This color, I caught a lot of fish on it at Clear Lake. We've caught fish at Pedro, Malones, Berryessa on it.
Probably pretty much everywhere we've thrown it.
And this color is regurgitated shad.
It's like a muted sexy shad.
Show them the eyes, James. I'm not climbing over everything.
If you look at the eyes, if you can, they've got little X's on them. It's not going to be able to zoom in. I have too cheap of a camera.
You can see it.
But if you listen, there's no rattle to this.
Right.
Its only noise is that bill walking back and forth. And then he mentioned how you can change the depth. If you pull this, like this lip is metal. If you pull this up, it'll actually dive deeper. And if you push it down, it'll dive a little bit shallower.
Yeah.
So you can tune, and you're only talking like a foot or two, but if you're just barely short of tipping the top of whatever you want to, grass, what have you, you can tweak it down. And if you're digging too hard, you can tweak it up.
But it's a great bait to use. This is a red one. You can throw it the Delta, and they actually have
bill one in the Delta.
Yeah, they have a shorter bill. That's not coming out of there.
I had a caught fish on that one right there at Clear Lake a couple weeks ago for sure.
Yeah, you're right.
My
there,
pattern
right?
I was running.
Short bill. I'm not breaking them apart. You could enjoy that.
It was a mess.
It's going to be.
Anything else in there that you throw? There is some.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good looking baits. What I like I would probably run sort of the sex. I can't get it out of there, but this sort of the shad patterns, right? It's fall. I mean, you can still get the reds to work. Yeah, I like the shad pattern. That's just the old sexy shad, nothing special. And the silent ain't bad either right now. That water's pretty clear up there.
Oh yeah, I bet.
And so the quieter the bait sometimes can really pay off too.
So we got some comments on there. Getty, what's going on, Getty? Says you got a rat's nest over there.
Yeah,
in that one.
Yeah.
He usually does.
Camel Joe said it's a cluster.
It's definitely a cluster.
Right?
Is that the name of the lure?
No. That's his box.
Or is that just us? We're the cluster.
It was organized. Now it's a cluster.
Sure it was.
Close enough.
Hey,
Sure, sounds good.
beautiful.
Yeah, it all fits now.
There you go.
What's next?
But I'd be throwing that type of stuff. And then I would change to something like this, which I'm just going to jump to this one that's built, right?
I'll show you how I store these. So what I do with these in A-rigs is what they are, is I actually take the normal divider that's on there and I cut a square into it and then poke them into it and you can hold like up to 5 realistically. If
That
you
one
wanna-
looks really good.
If you want to get them out, it's just 3.
That one
What?
looks really good.
Oh, it blew apart. One less to worry about. Extra hooks now. But yeah, and then throwing Kitech's on there. Kitech colors. What's all your Kitech colors?
I'm gonna throw
You throw more
Ghost Rainbow, Rainbow Shad, Threadfin,
Bluegill Flash.
Bluegill Flash, Sightfish.
Sight Flash,
Sight
technically, but
Flash.
Sightfish.
Yes, it's white. But those are the colors that I'm gonna be throwing. But if I'm going to a clear water lake and it's clear like what you're saying, John,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be throwing that Ghost Rainbow or the Rainbow Shad, especially at say like Comanche, that is a trout lake
Yep.
where they plant a lot of trout, rainbow trout
Yeah.
especially. Those are the colors that I'm gonna go after and I'm gonna throw.
Yeah.
Right. I've typically on Comanche though, I need like wind. I need overcast.
You do not want it to be slick calm.
Yeah, I need something like that.
And because that slick calm, they just won't come up. It's kind of like spinnerbait, kind of
Yeah.
like some other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. Come take a peek at it and then just turn off.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, those what I would throw that
Red,
way.
Red throws the circus colors. Yeah, he
Yes.
throws. If he has colors matching on his A rig, it's on accident.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's on.
Yeah.
Accident. It's just because that's whatever I took off and threw on the bottom of the boat, and he
I
wrote them
do.
upside down, backwards, crooked.
I will
all
throw
that
them on
stuff.
there, and I will keep up with James fucking catching fish.
Yeah,
It doesn't really matter. But like if things aren't happening, these are the baits that I'm going to be using, right? Like I'm going to be cycling through these fast moving baits and moving towards slower baits, but I'm going to be trying them, right? Like I'm going to be throwing LV500s. Who does not like an LV500? I'm not getting it out of there.
That's good.
That's a train wreck. So.
The color that I prefer the most is this one. It's Ghost Wakasagi.
Yeah.
It is probably my best shad imitating LV.
Yeah.
Second is going to be T.O. Craw, which I just had to replace because I threw my other one in Clear Lake.
It's actually on video.
It's on video.
He hooked it on the net on accident while I was fighting a
Oh
fish.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
And I couldn't get it out, and I just said, "Well, if it comes back up," and I netted it, and the spoon came back up.
Yeah.
But that did not come back.
Yeah, I remember that.
There are Excaliburs in here for the
Yeah.
people who know what an Excalibur is.
I can go. So the LV500 and a Ghost Minnow pattern is definitely one of my favorites, especially for these clear water lakes. The other one is old school. The old school just rattle trap, just half ounce chrome and blue. It works. You know what I mean? It just works.
It's a tried and true solid bait.
Exactly. You can.
I bring them, but I always forget to throw them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another bait that you can burn, stay super shallow with schooling fish.
Yeah.
And they will smoke it
Yeah.
again, reeling as fast as you can.
Yeah, that's another bait to have on the deck for that. Something they start popping or schooling, busting bait. That's another bait you could fire through that and have a chance.
But those are definitely things that I would probably pull out, like, and give it a try, right? Give it an honest chance
Yeah.
and seeing if they're gonna work.
This is here it is. Here's a little secret.
Yeah.
Berryessa. This time of the year, this is chartreuse white or chartreuse shad, I think it is. If you can find green weeds around Berryessa with this and just bring it by the weeds, like get hung up into them, rip them out. This on Berryessa is a great color this time of year.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll need to borrow those in a couple weeks.
It'll be our next tournament. Berryessa is the first week of December, and I have not got that bite to work the first weekend of December.
We got some.
It usually
We have some
dies
before
out.
that one too.
Yeah, it usually dies out. Actually, it may play for the Open. It's going to be the back half of
Yeah.
because we have a late fall or a late summer, so they might actually play at the Open.
Mm-hmm.
The Open is November
23rd.
at Kuda Canyon. Don't be afraid to check into it. bassreapers.org. Go ahead.
What?
Speak away.
I'm waiting. Go ahead. It's $150 prior to $160 at the ramp.
Cash only.
Cash only at the ramp.
And there's
we will.
badass raffle.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of good stuff.
Yep.
Another thing that works at Comanche, and I will throw in a minute, especially spots eat them, are these things right here. And things are huge, right? Like these are
huge.
These are gonna
They're like
yeah,
giant.
they're giant, right? Like they're gonna hurt your hands, right? We got sexy shad, and I think this is Tennessee shad. I will throw these in a minute up there.
10XD.
10XD.
I couldn't find them the other day. They were all sold out.
I will tell you that I was not a believer in these until I fished with one of our members that will pick it up and throw it. And he'll throw it and throw it and throw it. I picked him up because he was catching fish on it every once in a while. You hooked yourself. But these will actually catch fish, and they do a good job at Comanche.
I can see why I couldn't find them at the store the other day. They're all right here.
Yeah, they will go 20, 22 foot deep, and you can straight catch some fish.
I bought these years ago in the Black Friday.
Have you ever caught a fish on them?
And I have caught one fish on a 10XD, and it wasn't even a legal keeper. And this thing is huge.
So now, what pound test do you guys throw that on?
Ooh, I'm
Do you
throwing
mess
it
them with
light.
that light line, trying to get it a little deeper?
I'm throwing it light.
Like 12-ish.
Yeah, I'm throwing about.
Go under 12.
I'm throwing 12, but most of the time when I'm throwing it, it's an open water area.
Right.
And then I just back off my drag, and I have a glass rod
Right.
that I found.
Yeah. Okay.
Found in
That's
water.
a
So the other one that I'll throw is this
You finded it?
Yeah.
All right.
Realis G87. That's the other one I will throw. I have caught fish off of this one, spots in Rollins Lake.
Yeah.
Off of these ones. They go down just as deep, and they don't wear your arm out.
Oh, the 10XDs will wear you out. Like,
Yeah, that's a problem.
they are
And
exhausting.
I'm sure you know what that is.
Yeah.
Throw those?
I was throwing one 2 days ago.
It's a DD22.
Yep, I was throwing that.
Suspend version for this one.
Very similar. I was throwing that bait 2 days ago. Very similar in color. Yeah, it's a good bait. It's another one, the old tried and true DD22s. They don't go as deep as them,
They go
but
back
it'll
18.
yeah it'll get down there and they'll produce fish.
I will tell you, that color right there with that purple back, I have found Don Pedro has this thing about purple. Like
Purple?
purple.
Purples.
Yeah. It's got a thing about purple though, right? Like if you find a purple bait, that's probably the one that's going to get bit at Don Pedro more than any of the other ones that are natural shad colors even, right? That purple. I don't know what it is,
Yeah, there's
but
Yeah.
that
definitely
lake,
if you put a purple hue in those foothill lakes, for some
Yeah.
reason those purple pops it, and like they'll pick it out of there.
Yeah. The other thing I like about the DD22, they offer the suspended series, and you can get it down there where you're just banging the bottom and then just stop.
Yeah.
And then just creep it down there deep with it suspending it. It will produce some fish.
Yeah,
No doubt.
you can work it a little slower than the
Yeah,
other ones.
exactly. You don't have to burn it because the other ones that are floating, they're coming back up in a hurry because they're so big. You know, they're buoyant, right? They're
which helps me get it up out of the rocks.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Sometimes.
no, yeah. These you're going to donate a few of these for sure. If you're beating the bottom like you should be, you're going to donate a few. But it is a very good bait.
And your little pole extender doesn't quite reach to the depth of that they go. My best schooling fish that I've ever gone across was actually throwing a DD22 in this red and black on schooling fish on shad and ripping this through the balls. It was pretty fun. Catching them two at a time, multiple times. during that.
Yep, that's hot.
Yeah, for
That'd
some
be
reason
fun.
that red, and it was actually like I was throwing a different color. Actually, I was throwing a rattle trap, and stopped getting bit. And I was like, well, what else do I have? And then it was in my dad's boat years ago, and he had one with the red tied on, and I was like, well, let's see if it works. And I was catching them 2 at a time. It was crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
You would think if they're on shad that red might not be the play, but it is the play.
Camel Joe asked trout, maybe for that purple color, the purple hue.
I think so, because there's a lot
Possibly.
of trout in that area, and them trout do have a lot of pretty purple in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty fish.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm gonna go with something, especially pre-fishing, trying to figure it out. It's something that might draw the fish, right? So maybe I'm gonna try to figure out where the fish are at, and
These are stacked in there.
these are stacked. I'm gonna mess it all up. But this bait for sure, 100%. It's River to Sea 168. Shine
Without the tail.
yeah, without the tail. Glide baits.
S waiver.
Yeah, S waiver. We call it banana, but it's light trout. This will straight draw fish. In some areas, they just eat it. Some areas,
They will always show themselves.
They will
whether
show
eat or
themselves
not,
to
that
you.
Seems to change.
Right.
right? I will throw that in a minute.
And if you are throwing one of these and you're not getting followers consistently day over day, buy a second one.
Yeah.
And then throw the second one, because there is a difference in waves. You can find out which one is better than others by throwing it over time.
Another thing that I will do is I'll take a pocket knife and just scratch down this edge with the pocket knife. Just on the top of it, just scratch it a couple times. Sometimes the paint gets built up on it, and they actually work really a lot lot when
Just makes it swim better.
it
that
makes
way,
it swim just a little bit
Yeah,
better by
yeah.
just scratching that side a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good
Right.
tip. Good tip.
Angel asked about colors. This is called Party Crasher.
Yep.
Basically, they're kind of bassy, generic, shaddy one. Party Crasher is really good. And then
The Warden. This one was made
for hitch.
for a hitch at Clear Lake, but we've caught fish on it at Berryessa, Clear Lake, Delta.
Really glad we're going through this because I'm missing this color.
What color are you missing?
Oh, never mind. I have it. For you, Pedro Melones
Yeah.
guys.
Oh yeah.
This one's called Abalone. And for some reason, that extra flash for those two lakes, it helps out a lot.
Yeah. I really like this bait too.
This is
that bait's been on point
the 6th Sense
this year.
flow glider.
Is that the one that in the Delta and they were just coming unglued trying to?
Eat it. With
You're
you?
driving.
The 6th Sense flow glider, but cut the joint. I've shown this before, but if you cut the joint, the normal one, it completely goes in. If you just take this front body and cut it flush with the original inside peak, and then that really opens it up. The original one doesn't move in the water. It kind of does nothing. It's kind of a very like tight, long S. This, you can burn it. You can twitch it. You can go crazy with this thing, and then you can just slow reel it, and it'll just have a nice little wave on the way back in.
Getsy says off topic, is the roof completed?
The roof is completed. The reason why there's not been regular videos is because we've been doing a roof on a cabin
Yeah.
up near Middletown.
We almost.
And you know what I'm really happy about?
What's that?
The roof's done.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
When you wear out a pair of shoes doing roofing, it's not fun on a 900 square foot roof.
Yeah. It was a little steep, right? Like it's in hill country a little bit, right? Like.
Yeah, when you're working on the roof, And as you're working, you're just slowly sliding down, like
My wife almost
as
went
you're
off.
working, and then like
Oh,
you
that's
get
right.
doing what
She
you're
was
doing,
up there,
and then you like re-grab back up again, and then you slowly slide back down, like as you're working. But yeah, his wife went sliding down and luckily caught herself.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
like a 4-foot tall girl falling off of a 8-foot roof or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, oh, life insurance up.
Right?
This box, I'll let you play with it, James, because but I will throw this
So
in a
this
minute,
box
especially
is
that color.
mag drafts. Recently played with the Zaldangerous one
Yes.
that's harnessed.
And it's lined
I
through.
am not an overly fan of Zaldan himself. Like I'm cool with him, but he kind of bugs me some ways. But his bait is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie about that one. Actually, was pretty good. I might actually go busting into that. This is whiteback shad, and then my other color for these is IU.
Yeah.
Is the other ones. Those are the two. For those who don't know, IU is the name of a trout in Japan, but we throw it here. Kind of crazy. And I got some other colors in there, but those are my prominent ones. Have you got to play with these at all?
Not much. It's the one bait I haven't really got into too much. The
I will tell you.
soft swim baits, whatever you call them. I really haven't.
Put them on a 8-aught beast hook.
That's what I was going to ask. How do you rig them up?
Yeah, 8-aught beast hook. It's got a screw-in nose.
The red and black.
So what kind of and you varying the weight based on depth, or what do you?
Yeah, so for the most part, a mag draft kind of only goes one depth. That's the reason why I like the Zaldangerous one, because it does let you change depths and still have action. If you just screw this into there, and then this is the wrong hook, I think. This is a 10-aught. Grab the wrong one. But then you can, the different weights that are on there for the keel weights.
Right.
That changes how much, you're only talking a couple of feet.
Yeah.
But it changes how much and how fast you can go and stuff like that. The main thing to a mag draft is that there's one speed that tail just hard thumps, and you want to do that speed. So the only modifications you can make is weight. You can't change your speed.
Right.
So it's kind of a limited bait, but when they're on it, they chew.
Yeah, I know you guys have talked about this bait quite a bit in the past, and I know pretty successful on it.
That bait right there, I will throw it at Clear Lake through Chulies as far as I could throw it, like a frog.
Yeah,
As far as I could throw in those Chulies, like March. As far up there as I could throw it, and it will come out clean.
Yeah.
And I was catching 5-pounders in a foot of water.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it
it is
fun.
amazing.
And then you're like, how do we get them out?
Yeah,
Did you figure it out?
you'll figure it out, or you won't get them. One of the two.
Yeah.
IU is delicious. Have had it in Japan. While we're in this box, you like throwing this thing. It's an underspin. It's the Cool Baits version.
Yeah, I do like the Cool Baits version. It does tear up the bait.
So if you guys pay attention, give my time, mate. If you guys pay attention, so the keeper on a Cool Baits is above, in between the hook point. So what happens is when the fish clamp down on it and you're fighting it, that bait gets tore against that keeper and it rips them open. So in my quest, I found these ones are Ego something or Eco or something like that. And it has the keeper on the bottom, and then these things is the drop down for the blade is hard metal, and I'll actually bend it up to the body to make it more streamlined where it's not, and that way that blade is just underneath the body. If you leave them all the way down, the bait actually kind of rides funny.
Yeah.
So the one thing I don't like about these Ego tungsten ones is the keeper is attached to the blade, and over time they'll separate. It'll actually like wear itself out, and it'll kind of separate a little bit and starts eating your baits again.
Yeah.
But I you can catch a lot of fish, or a lot more fish with Kitex with this the bottom keeper style.
Right.
I know. That's another bait that I haven't fished much either.
When it works, it works.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's-
people, I
it's
mean,
deadly.
you hear people having great success on that thing, and I have them, and I'll have them this weekend for sure.
Yeah.
And then if it's shallow water, I will throw, that's the wrong size. I will throw the flashy swimmer in a heartbeat with like a 3.8 or a 3.3 Kitech on it. I mean, any of the Kitechs really. Just get a matching size hook to it in the flashy swimmer. And this thing is just like, I mean, it's literally the same version as what he's talking about.
Right.
You can chuck this into the trash and bring it through. And it's crazy where you'll get bites from where you didn't even think a fish could be there.
Yeah. Though you have to get different rods for those two.
Yeah, you do
Right,
have to
for that
figure
feel.
it out. If you're losing fish with these, with any of these style hooks, if you're losing fish, chances are you need to change rods.
Yeah.
Like these hooks are tried and true. There's a reason why they're very popular. If you're dumping fish, you either need to change line or rods or something to that effect.
Right.
And then you'll get dialed in. If you ever have rod questions when it comes to that, you could always hit me up and ask me. Because I dug deep.
You want to put this one?
Into
Or is this
the rod
out? Stays
department.
out?
That's a
That's
loose out and
That's
about.
all right. Oh, go.
Camel Joe asked.
Yeah,
you
that
guys,
one slows my boat down like a couple mile an hour.
Yeah, that
Camel
was it.
Joe is asking if we use any first gen tackle California companies.
I do not have any first gen tackle stuff. I have seen their stuff. I just haven't bought any. That's all it is. But they have basically like a little small spinnerbait where the underspin is on top. So it's just basically a compact spinnerbait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have some other things. I have heard some cool stuff. They have one with like a square, almost like a square bill lip on it. And if you hop that on the bottom, it'll actually walk the dog basically on the bottom.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. So you can kind of shaky head it, but walk the dog underneath.
Wow, that's cool.
What a mess.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah,
man.
this is my
Another
big
cluster.
This is my jerkbait box. They are
Yeah.
literally, you can't hardly fit another one in there, and they're
No.
all megabox. Here, what colors do you want? I'll dig them out. You start talking.
All right.
$1,000 box right
It
there.
is definitely $1,000
Is it?
box.
Probably more than 1,000.
I know.
This is, don't say it out loud. My wife might hear you guys.
$100 box.
Yeah, it's a $100 box.
Yeah, it's $100.
But
Everything.
this one,
Yeah, buck a piece.
Cherry Spawn. This is Megabass 110 Junior +1. This one kills them at Comanche. I really like this color at Comanche. I will throw this one also. This is
Pro Blue.
Pro Blue. This one you could throw all the time. The Cherry Spawn I like for low light, right? Like if it's cloudy, if it's early morning, I'm gonna throw that one before I throw this one, right? Like I can, I use snap, so I'll unsnap that one and I'll throw this one on and start throwing it if it's sunny.
And this brand hooks are extremely sticky.
Those hooks,
Yeah,
those hooks are so sticky that they will, just holding on to them, they will
Yeah.
stick, right?
I can feel that.
and we do not change the hooks from stock. We just back our drags off.
Yes.
Because in all reality, like they're sticky sharp. These are the out barbs or the regular ones, depending on what it is. We just run lighter drag and let them run around. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. You throw this one. This is
That's Northern Light.
Northern Lights.
That's purple. That's what we're talking about, the purple.
Now, have you messed with this yet? That's new.
This is the Credge. It's the knockoff of the riser bait. The Jackal riser, I think it is. I have messed with this. I've caught a small fish off of it, but I have not played with it. It's kind of cool because it falls, like it shimmies while it falls. You have extreme depth control with the dreaded 3-letter electronics.
Forward-facing sonar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have extreme depth control with this. You can actually specifically target fish with it. I just haven't seen the right days where they react proper to it. Is somebody crushing on this? I guarantee it, because there's a reason why it's a knockoff. It's because the original worked so well that they decided to make this.
Yeah.
This bait right here, the Northern Lights, I've thrown at Berryessa up in the trees up in Pewter Creek, and
Caught a lot of crappie on that color.
a lot of crappie have eaten this. Like, I can't keep them off of it. It's
I like
actually
this.
really
I like
fun.
the size. What is
Camel
the size?
Joe.
What size is this?
This is a 110 Junior +1.
Okay.
Yeah.
It goes a little bit deeper. You could get a 110 Junior, and it's a more of a shallower bait, but that Northern Light works really good for crappie in the
And then
trees.
My sneaky bait on deep jerk baits is, this is actually a Pointer DD78 Lucky Craft. So what I actually do with these, if you can notice on here, there's 2 split rings on the front head of this. So what I'm using is I'm using larger split rings or extra split rings to weight this body so that it slow sinks. And I mean like slow sinks. And then that way when you're working it, you can actually dead stick it. Typically when you're in colder water, it'll start going back up again. So if you do a slow sink at home, cold water from the tap, usually it'll either be dead still or a slight rise when you're on the water, if it's the right time of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that 78 pointer. That's what I throw a lot in fall and winter. I'll throw the 78.
Yeah.
That one is a good one for Malonis too.
The clown color,
Clear Lake.
I can't get it out because
I tried it at Clear Lake a few weeks ago. I didn't have any luck, but boy, I've had some days with the
You
clown
got a couple others to put back.
clowns with the gold.
and
Gold, red
Folsom too.
Wilson?
Yep.
Yeah, they are clown in the Smithwick.
Yeah, that's what they were.
My best day jerk baiting ever. It was like
got
every
a
other
Terry
cast
Bond
for
over.
hours
You got one more?
on Berryessa tax day, like I don't know, 2009 or something like that. It was
Yeah.
April 15th.
Yeah.
Rainy day, and we were loading the boat. It was ridiculous. Me and a buddy of mine.
So we're kind of slowing down though, right? Because like a jerk bait, it's not a cover water type bait. You could cover some water, but you're not covering water.
Yeah, you're not burning, right?
Yeah, you
You're
gotta have an
it,
area
working.
you're working.
You know what's something too? I have in the last few years, I've gone to a spinning rod for throwing my jerk baits.
You can get better casting.
I get better casts. I can just because light line, so I go with 10-pound test mono, and I can just cast it further, and it's easier to work the bait for me. The spinning rod is worked pretty good.
Now we're into the spoon. He doesn't like my spoon.
I don't like the spoons.
This is not your size. Here's your size. No, that's probably smaller than your size.
Nope, that's it.
That's your bad boy right there.
Half
That you always
ounce.
throw.
I believe it's the half, not the 3/4.
Yeah, it's half.
And I did donate one of these 2 days ago on the Comanche. I even donated my homemade 2-ounce lure retriever I sent down to get it.
Just a typical
Yeah,
regular
it's
spoon.
pretty generic Stratus spoon, Bass Pro Shops, but very effective.
Yeah.
Yep, very effective.
These are the ones I'm going to throw. They're the razor spoons,
P-line.
the P-line razors,
laser or something.
razors, whatever. I really like the way they fall.
I need to make an order of those, as a matter of fact.
Really like the way they fall. They're definitely a different type of bait than what James throws. And sometimes when we're throwing stuff with each other, fishing together, I like to throw something different than what he's throwing. I'll throw the flutter spoon,
Yep,
right? This is the River to Sea
I'll have one tied on.
flutter spoon. I haven't really done really good at Comanche on it, but it's not something that I'm not gonna throw, right? Because I've usually do
Yeah.
good on other things at Comanche,
Yeah.
No, don't throw it at Comanche.
right?
Spots will eat the
Yeah.
Pants off of it.
pants off of
I
that.
got a Huddleston in mind,
You will. They will rip your flipping arm off
right?
if you throw a flutter spoon. They do not always eat it, though. I will say that.
Right.
It's definitely.
I believe the day.
Very, they have to be bait related for sure, and it has to be this time of the year. But they will.
I believe the last time you were
Rip it off.
throwing a flutter spoon, I did beat you.
I know
The,
I know you've gone over it, but what rod do you prefer to throw a flutter spoon on?
That big flutter spoon.
Yeah.
The one that I was throwing with you when we were doing it, I was actually throwing it on that glass rod
Okay.
that I had,
Okay.
and we were catching
Yeah, it was working just fine.
15-pound catfish with it, right? Like
Yeah. It was.
I was all right with it.
So the Comanche one, I'll actually go to smaller. I don't throw the bigger ones. I actually throw. I think this is 4-inch or something like that. 4-inch. I'll throw the smaller one. They actually make one that's a white, that's like sexy shadish.
Mm-hmm.
That one is better. And
Yeah.
underneath that white is like a copper kind of tone or something that's underneath there. The more of that copper that shows up, the better that bait was. Did cast it off, and I take that back. I unsnapped it, slipped out of my hand, hit the deck, bounced into the water.
Oh no.
Cannot find that color again.
Nope.
Not sure. It was dang it, Strike King. It was a Strike King one, and that color is always sold out.
How much have you messed with the blade baits? I messed with them for the first time ever last late fall, the December for Berryessa. And I caught a lot of fish, but was struck because there were so many small fish going, right? But it was fun. I was just casting it out and you could almost just reel it like a rattle trap in a sense.
Yeah.
And do they vibrate. They really do vibrate.
And I've actually done the best with those hopping it like an LV on
Yeah.
After actually, I think I probably caught more catfish with it on New Hogan.
Yes.
That was fun. That was really fun to be catching catfish on it. I do change the hooks out on those though.
Yeah, they're small.
I don't let them play around as much. I do throw dust spoons in the it's either called Sierra, Electric Chicken, or Morning Dawn. Those 3 colors.
Yeah.
Sierra is kind of a combination of Electric Chicken and Morning Dawn. And then, oh no, I didn't order.
Oh yeah, it's your catfish bait.
The other thing is ice jigs.
Catfish love those.
Which I just remembered that I broke one of my favorite ones, and she gone.
Which one?
And I don't have it for this one. I don't think you have it. It was I think it was actually made by Live Target. I broke the plastic on it, the tail of it. If you aren't familiar with ice jigs, they have like a little tail to it, and when you hop it, it'll actually
Like that one?
spin down or something. Yeah, close to that.
Now, do you work those all the way to the on the bottom like a jig, or what do you?
They
I
bounce
will-
and like
They just glide.
they just glide all around.
Okay.
Wherever the fish level is, like
Yeah.
you can see it on 2D. I've actually caught more on 2D than anything else
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Well, I know you can drop them in
Drop
front
it
of
straight
catfish.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can definitely go. That's a catfish.
Yeah.
Drop down.
Yep, that works.
That
Um,
it definitely works.
But that's kind of more of a 2D thing because the dreaded 3 letters. It's hard to be able to drop down. You
Yeah.
can cast them and work them, but they seem to be more effective straight down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally meant to go ice fishing.
Hmm.
And this guy is the killer for these little spoons.
Yep, that's a fun way. I love fishing those. I'll have that tied on too this weekend.
Yeah, you can put on a clinic.
We're getting to that time of year real quick for start happening.
Where are you going?
Our paddle's getting too big over here.
Oh,
I don't want it to crash.
So one of the first colors that I would throw in the morning. So now we're getting into
Here's a little bit of insight to this next box. Typically, year round, I grab 4 colors and I throw them
You
in
can
one
have
of
it.
my go boxes.
You don't have.
And that's about all I do is those 4 colors, and I leave it alone.
You don't have the color that I want.
It's probably in there just buried.
Sounds good.
But this is the time of the year, especially when I'm not sure how it goes, that I actually start breaking out the alive shads, because it's a lot that really it's a shad profile, shad bait. Typically, I'm either throwing Morning Dawn or baby bluegill in those. 4-inch, preferably 3-inch if I need to. And then other than that, it's like a typical robo worm. Sorry, Steve. Yeah, that's in there. It's just
That one?
buried in there. Yes, it's in there.
You have a
Buried.
6-inch?
No, 6 inches is another bag. This is all 4-inch.
Guys, so one of the baits, Alicia, pay attention, that I really like is a 6-inch Morning Dawn. And this is the fat straight tail. It's the Morning Dawn red chartreuse. It's got red flake in it.
Hey, let me see that one.
I've done really good with it at Comanche. Really like that color.
This is, sorry, Steve. Jack All 4.8. Good luck finding them because they're sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Because Alicia bought the entire national stock.
Good job, Alicia.
There's one other color
Yeah, right there.
I don't really want to talk about. I really
That's not
like
my
it.
color. That's your color. I've got like 3 fish on that color.
But if you notice, this bag has way more than one in it. And it's the Reaction Innovations Flirt, right?
Yes.
It's a Flirt.
6.5, I think.
This is called Smoke Grape. That has straight caught me, or I've won tournaments.
Again, purple.
It's got purple in it, right? Like
Something about that purple, huh?
those are definitely colors. If I'm pulling out baits to throw at Comanche,
Yeah. Do you ever dock chartreuse up the tail at all, or mess with that at all,
No.
or just keep her as?
keep it as it is. I throw it out, nose hooked, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll even wacky rig those.
I won't. That's probably why you've only caught 3.
My my
Could be.
primary colors are my normal though. Sorry, Steve. Morning Dawn chartreuse tail, and my new favorite as of this last year is John's favorite color of all time.
Yep. Margarita mutilator.
Margarita mutilator.
That's it. That's
and
a
that
good
will be
worm.
Drop shot. This is also the way I'm gonna rig some of those up. Is this is the Bass Union darter head. That Bass Union darter head is deadly on schooling fish. Any fish that are hanging out underneath those schoolers, because this thing actually death spirals on the way down. And that spiral, like, I swear they just see it coming and they're just like, ooh.
It's almost like it gets it.
He's skinny.
It's
That's
like
one of the gets it things.
Same kind of thing, right? So they'll do that same kind of that slow spin that's on there, and then depending on how deep you are is what size weight you want to run. Typically, I'm running 1/8 ounce. Cool thing about Bass Union stuff is that he puts his weight embedded into the head, so you don't have to guess what size it is.
Yeah.
And the other one will be the next one up, which was 3/16. Those are the 2 sizes that I'll go between. I don't really mess with quarter, and I don't really mess with 16th ounce. I will, but you got to be special to throw a 16th ounce.
It's hard.
It goes like me to the camera 3 feet.
Yeah.
It hits the water. And then like you have to feed it line, and like your line has more drag than the bait does itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the shaky heads. So, it's another good technique for this time of year, all year, but this time of year, a shaky head, the dart heads, just another very effective way to catch fish right now.
So-
that's why. And also, if you, I guess I already started saying it. If you put in a live shad on one of these and rip it, it vibrates like a Lippris.
Whoops.
Man, I already said it. We're far enough into this.
Yeah.
We're already an hour into this, or almost an hour into it.
Oh, we're an hour.
If it'll vibrate like a lipless, and you can actually like
Mm.
trigger fish
Yeah.
when you're doing that. What you got?
Oh, Comanche.
No, you love these things. This is the next box. These are all of my. I haven't tagged the small robo because if I tag it as the other thing, I just don't feel as manly as I could.
Yeah. These are the turds.
Dang old Ned rig.
Ned rig.
Ah.
I will tell you that I love these baits, especially when it's a slow and low type of tournament. So I'll throw either the deal, which is like a bluish greenback color,
Yeah, that looks good.
or Gobi Bryant. And I think you've bought these because of me.
I have both of those
But
colors.
the Gobi Bryant is one, it looks like a goby, but I have caught monster fish at
Comanche.
Comanche and those monsters.
His favorite technique too.
Yeah.
And the best part about those things is you can buy one pack and you're good for like
You're good
3
for-
years.
Yeah, they last.
It's ridiculous
Yeah.
how many fish you can
They'll
catch
eat a hole
with that.
through your boat, but they work
Yeah.
pretty good, man. They're sturdy.
Don't let them touch anything else but water.
Yeah,
and then you're fine. The only other thing that's in here that gets an honorable mention is the shad-shaped worm. 3-inch and 4-inch. I'm not as much of a fan of the 5-inch. The 5-inch is different in the water. But the colors is called Monster Bass. And then the other one is dang it, I don't remember the name of it. Monster Bass is the best one though. Oh, the white one, and then dye the chartreuse tip on it. It's actually a little late in the year for that for Berryessa. Actually, it might be going right now.
It might be.
White might be a really good color for Berryessa right now. These are mine, right?
Yes, they're all yours. Another bait that I will throw at Comanche is a football jig, basically, on a Yamamoto double tail mop top.
Spider jig,
Spider
mop top,
jig, mop top, twin
spider
tail,
grub,
spider grub,
Yeah.
whatever.
double-tailed skirted grub.
You know, I used to. You know where I've had my best luck with those? Obviously, they work everywhere, but Clear Lake.
I would. Tell
That's
you,
a really good Clear Lake bait right there.
That's actually when I was into jig fishing was
Yeah.
watermelon red or cinnamon
Yeah.
purple
Yeah. Yep.
at Clear Lake or Berryessa.
Yeah.
It would just crush them. You throw it around the docks, throw it on the rocks.
Yep. It
And they
was.
just smoke it. Like you cast into something and they'd just be swimming out at you.
We had a couple years where me and Mike Nikolai put a hurting on him up at Clear Lake on those baits. It was a lot of fun to throw that
but
bait.
that will definitely be on a rod this weekend.
The other thing that'll be on my rod is jig rig.
Oh, the Dirty 30.
Guys, I'm back into jig fishing again.
You know, the jig fishing is the same as Ned rig fishing, right?
No, but this is way cooler.
Is
'cause I
it just?
crack
Yeah,
them.
you're right.
Because a Ned rig, the hook set is
Not me. I hit them.
on jig rig. I can
Crack them.
I can hit 'em.
crack 'em. I actually,
it's all about that tug.
actually on
That's
the
funny.
Ned rig, I actually tighten my drag up to where when I hit them, I'm burying that hook and then I loosen it
Then you
up.
back it off.
Yeah, it's the
Back it
loosen
up.
up part that I don't do. I just
Yeah.
keep them coming.
Yeah. But yeah,
Getsy says no longer friends. Hey, that's why I labeled it small robo.
no, he's talking about Alicia.
Oh, I thought he was talking about
No, he's
Ned
saying
rigs.
because you blamed Alicia for buying all the.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then Blaine
Yeah.
just said she was the smart one.
No,
She
she's
jumped
smart.
on him.
She got ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
She said, "Sure, blame me," and then let's not forget who started this.
Yeah, that's definitely. Actually, technically,
It wasn't us.
watermelon candy got started from my dad and Kurt. Is where that bait found out from. There used to be
Wow.
a color called sunburnt watermelon.
I'm not repeating that, Getsy.
and sunburnt watermelon is
Yeah.
was a really, really good color. They got discontinued. So that is the reason why I talk about watermelon candy. So they don't discontinue it. Hopefully they didn't just shut down the whole line.
Well, hopefully, maybe I'm thinking Alicia can donate a couple of packs to the raffle at the next club meeting. What do you think?
I'm pretty
Maybe.
sure
I think
she-
she'd love to do that.
Pretty sure she would not part with
Oh,
those.
come on
There
now.
is no amount of cash. She would have. I do not blame her at all.
Oh,
I'm actually currently looking into different avenues to make my own since we can't seem to get a hold of them anymore.
Yeah.
I'll put.
That's actually part of why
I was gonna say,
Property Closet picked up.
yeah, maybe he
that
can.
mold
He
just so
can
that
make
we
it
can try and find something that
because that's the
good
length.
knockoff.
I wonder.
That's the length.
I actually do have a good knockoff that I have. This is the Sensei worm from Yamamoto. There's a typical Yamamoto bait. 2 fish and they throw it.
Sure.
So if you use your little collar thing that Brian uses, you don't throw as many of them. It's kind of like a thin Nico worm essentially. Yeah, the VMC collars. You lose as many of them, but they definitely have the action. Watermelon red and black, and then the other one's like watermelon blue or purple.
Yeah, it's like a bluish.
Something like that. Green pumpkin blue. Sorry, green pumpkin blue. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Besides,
You got
like, your
you got
typical, like,
Angel.
Cinco stuff
Angel's got a
and
question for you.
stuff like that. Snot algae on the lake. There's because everything's cooled down. There's no algae left anymore.
Yeah.
We just fished clear like what 3 weeks ago.
Probably.
It's
And
pretty
it
clean.
wasn't even algae.
Yeah, I
It's
mean
kinda
it's
nice.
still that dingy color, which is great, and there wasn't any goo to really worry about at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't smell.
No,
I'm
not
sure
at
down
all.
South, you guys still have algae because it stays warmer down there. But
Yeah. Get closer down to redbud maybe, but it's all going away.
yeah, there's only like about 3 months at Clear Lake that you want to wash your boat as soon as you get it off the water.
Yeah. That is a fact.
Yep.
What's River got going on? There are some flick shake molds, but they only have a cavity for 2 worms. You'd be able to buy 4. I don't even care if I'm making them one at a time. I
Yeah.
will take the time to do it one at a time because you know what that means?
You'll have some.
It's one more than
Yeah.
I had
Yeah,
20 minutes before that.
Yeah.
that's right.
Send us the link where we can find those molds.
Yeah, Ferber, send that link.
You don't have to do it on here. You can send it to either of us.
Send it direct. Either one.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm not really hungry though. I had hot wings and
I'm sure you'll still
nacho
eat.
fries.
I'm not worried. I'm pretty sure you'll still eat.
Oh yeah, I'll eat.
Yeah, you're
Not
a professional.
not surprised at that.
You are.
On YouTube, I can't say what I was gonna say.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
I
Right?
think that's
A lot of good variety this time of year.
those are definitely baits that I'm
Yeah.
gonna be trying
Yeah.
on Friday,
Yep.
and then figuring out what I need to do for the tournament.
Yeah, that'll definitely be the cycle for all of that. I think that's pretty much it. Next Wednesday will be an actual video of us talking about Comanche and how well that did or didn't go,
Yeah,
since there is currently a windstorm happening. So hopefully that works out pretty good.
we have something else coming too, right?
I do know that lake still sucks.
Oh, that's a good lake.
Gonna be busy lake too. We're gonna have a lot
Then-
of company on that lake this weekend.
Also, the 19th is a Tuesday. And Tuesday, we are going to have Casey, one of our guys that used to be in the club. He is a big swim bait guy.
Yeah,
And he's going to bring his selection. Hopefully, it all works out. It will be a Tuesday, like I said. So stay tuned for that. It'll be the 19th. Will be right before the Open,
right.
which is the 20th.
Third.
Third.
Good job.
So if you're interested in the open, bassreapers.org, or you can hit up Bass Reapers on Facebook. It'd be Fairfield Sassoon Bass Reapers and Fairfield Sassoon Bass Reapers on Instagram, or just show up
For the raffle.
for the raffle if you want. Come by, say hi, and watch the bags get weighed in. And
There should be some good bags.
It's very this fishing's so good right now. Should be
Yeah.
so good. Your wife is on here, by the way.
Yeah.
Commented. I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, ask them down below. You can always hit me up on Instagram. And until next time, I hope you get them. Because it is